welcome to the Morning Exhale. I'm Stephanie Gaines-Bryant. We're going to exhale this morning with our knees. We're going to do some postures that are friendly to people like me who have arthritis in the knees. So we'll do some strengthening exercises there. But let's start off with connecting with your breath, placing your hands on your knees, shoulders relaxed. Imagine drawing your navel in towards your spine. And just easy breaths in and out. Connecting with your breath. And just take a brief scan of your body. Notice how you're feeling today. Notice from head to toe. There may be some places that may be a little achy or tight or sore. Notice those places, but don't make any judgments. Act as if you're noticing from afar, but not creating a story around it. As you breathe in and out. Then on your next exhale, gently lower your chin down to your chest. Notice the feel of stretch in the back of your neck. Then inhale your head up and back. Allow your jaw to drop. Notice the feel of stretch in the front of your neck. Then exhale once more, chin to chest. This time, rotate your right ear to your right shoulder, pressing down on your left knee. Notice the feel of stretch on the left side of your neck. Roll your head back to center. Rotate your left ear to your left shoulder. This time, you're pressing down on your right knee. Notice the feel of stretch on the right side of your neck. Roll your head back to center, then inhale your head up. Let's make some circles with your torso. You're bringing movement to the hips and the spine. The next time your torso is facing forward, pause and circle in the other direction. Come to a neutral spine. Stretch your arms out to the side. Press your right hand into the floor. Inhale your left arm up and overhead. Then exhale, release. Let's do the other side, lifting up and overhead. Then exhale, release. Now we're just going to lift and lower the left and right arms as if you're making a gentle sweeping motion across the ceiling. Very good. Now let's inhale both arms up, and then we're going to take your left hand, bring it to your right knee, and we're going to bring that other hand behind you. I want you to look over your shoulder. Inhale, lifting up. Let's twist in the other direction. Hand to the opposite knee. We're bringing your left hand behind you. Breathe. Inhale, lengthen both arms up. Twisting to center, bring your hands down in front of you, wherever's comfortable for you. If you can move a little further forward, that's fine. Breathe. Inhale, sitting up. We're going to come to a seated position with the soles of your feet on the floor. I've been sitting on top of my blanket, so if you were as well, you can just bring your blanket to the side. Bring your hands behind you, and let's lower your knees to the left. Come back to center, lower to the right. Center, to the left, center, to the right, center. Very good. Let's bring your hands underneath your thigh, underneath your right thigh. We're going to lift up your foot. Let's straighten, bend, straighten, bend, straighten, and bend. The next time your leg is straight, let's just circle your foot. Pause, circle in the other direction, and release. Let's do the other side. We're lifting up your left foot, stretch your leg out, bend, straighten, bend, straighten, bend, and straighten. Let's circle your foot. Pause, circle in the other direction. And release. Very good. We're going to stretch out your left arm, coming onto your left side. You've got one knee on top of the other. Let's take your hand, we're going to grip your hip, and just lift and lower your knee for clamshells, strengthening your knees this morning. Now let's stretch your top leg out and bring your top arm up and overhead as if you're creating a long line of stretch from your fingertips all the way to your heel. Breathe. Then let's take this top hand, bring it down to the mat. We're going to circle forward, pause, circle back. Then release. Very good. Let's take your top hand, bring it to the top of your foot, and we're drawing your heel in toward your backside. I want you to lift your chest. Breathe. Let's lower that knee inside the other knee. Release your hand from your foot, and let's bring your body around into a twist. Now let's move to the other side. We're going to stack your knees. One knee comes on top of the other. Bring your forearm down. Use your hand to lock your hip, and we're just lifting and lowering your knee. Let's stretch your top leg out, and we're going to bring your top arm up and overhead, creating a long line of stretch from your left fingers all the way to your heel. Then we're going to bring your top hand down to the mat. Let's circle forward. Pause. Circle back. Very good. Let's bend your knee. Take your hand, reach for the top of your foot. You're drawing your heel in towards your backside. Lift your chest, arch your back. Let's lower your knee inside the other knee. Release your hand from your foot, and let's bring your body around into a twist. Now let's flip over onto your belly. Let's bring your palms next to your chest. Your elbows are hugged in like chicken wings. Your big toes touch. Scoop your pelvis into the mat. Press into your palms, lifting up your chest. Lift up your head for cobra. Then release. Let your body melt down onto the mat. We're just going to wiggle your hips a little bit, right and left. Very good. Keeping those palms next to your chest. I want you to press into your palms. We're lifting all the way up to upward dog. Press into your knees. We're pushing back into child's pose. You can stretch your arms out in front of you. Breathe. And if you need some support for your knees, you can always take your blanket and bring your knees on top of your blanket for support. Use your hands to press you back up into table pose. And I'm going to turn around in the other direction where my blocks are. And so I want you to bring your hands. If you have some blocks available, I want you to bring your hands to your blocks. Let's stretch your right leg out behind you. We're just going to move forward and back, just bringing some stretch to your calves, to your arch, to your toes, moving forward and back. On your next exhale, let's bend into your right knee, and we're bringing your foot in between your blocks or in between your hands. I'm going to bring the blocks to the taller setting, and I want you to drop that left knee back if you need to, maybe a ½ inch or so. We're going to do seesaws. So you're moving your knee forward, then back, forward, then back, forward, then back. Now let's bring your knee to a neutral position, and then let's lift your arms up and overhead, coming into V position. Breathe. Let's take your left hand, bring it to the outside of your right knee, and we're coming into a side stretch. Inhale, lengthen both arms up. Exhale, bring your hands down to the blocks or down to the mat. Let's slide that right foot back. We're stretching the left leg out behind you, and we're just moving forward and back. On your next exhale, bend into your knee, and we're bringing your foot in between your hands. Always make sure your knee is in the same line as your ankle. Let's get ready for seesaws. We're moving forward, then back, forward, back, and again, you can keep that blanket under your knee, forward, and back. Let's bring your knee to a neutral position. Then let's inhale your arms all the way up to V position. Let's take your right hand, bring it to the outside of your left knee, coming into a side stretch. Inhale, lengthen both arms up. Exhale, let's bring your hands onto the blocks. Can you curl your right toes under and lift up your knee? Then let's step your back foot up, and we're slowly rolling up, one vertebrae at a time. Let's roll your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Let's do that one more time. We're rolling your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Let's separate your feet now. We're going to Bring your hands to your hips. Let's bend into your right knee as if we're coming into a runner stretch. Come back to center, bending into the other knee, coming into a runner stretch. Come back to center. Let's bend both knees and straighten. Then we're going to turn your toes out, coming into a squat. And I want you to tuck your tail to protect your lower back. And let's bring your arms to goddess pose. Let's inhale your right elbow forward, back. Left arm comes forward, back. Inhale, both arms together. Exhale, open. Then we're bringing your forearms down just above your knees. Let's take your right arm, lift it up and overhead. Then release, lift that left arm up and overhead. Then release, coming back to goddess pose. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, lower down. Hold it, breathe. Inhale, coming up. Then float your arms down. We're going to pivot your right foot forward. You're bringing that back toe in just an inch or so, bending into your knee, and we're sweeping both arms up to warrior one. Breathe. Then let's square your hips to the side. We're opening up to side warrior. Let's bring your forearm down just above your knee. Lift your left arm up and overhead, coming into side angle pose. Now let's inhale, coming up. We're dropping that left arm down. Lift the right arm up for reverse warrior. Come back to side warrior pose. Straighten out that front leg, pivot forward, release your arms down. Let's roll your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Now we're going to pivot your left foot forward, bend into your knee. We're bringing that big toe in just about a ½ inch or so, and we're sweeping your arms up to warrior one. Breathe. Now let's square your hips to the side. We're opening up to side warrior pose. Let's bring your forearm down just above your knee. Lift your back arm up and overhead for side angle pose. Now let's inhale. We're lifting all the way up to reverse warrior. Breathe. Now let's come back to side warrior pose, and we're going to bring your hands back down to the mat or back down to your blocks, bringing your foot in between the blocks. Let's do some standing seesaws. Let's straighten, bend, straighten, bend, straighten, and bend. Take your right arm, sweep it out to the side, then release, sweep that left arm out to the side, then release. We're going to step the back foot up and switch. This time we're bringing your left foot back. Let's straighten, bend, straighten, bend, straighten, and bend. Let's take your left arm, sweep it out to the side. Release, sweep that right arm out to the side. Then release. We're going to lower your left knee down to the mat, uncurl your toes, then we're sweeping the right leg back as well. Let's move the blocks to the side now. And then we're going to lower down onto either your right or left hip. Let's stretch the left leg out. We're going to bring the sole of your right foot into your thigh. Lengthen your arms up to V position. Fold forward. You're touching either your shin, ankle, or toes. Breathe. Inhale, sitting up. We're going to take your left hand. We're holding on to your foot. Use the other hand to cradle your knee. And we're gently rocking back and forth. Now let's stretch that right leg out. Bring the sole of your left foot into your thigh. Lengthen up to V position. Fold forward, touching your shin, ankle, or toes. Inhale, sitting up. Let's take your hand, bring your hand to your foot. We're using that left arm to cradle your knee, and we're gently rocking back and forth. Very good, and release. Let's slide to the front of your mat, and we're going to bring your hands underneath your thighs, lift your chest, lean back for upward boat. Breathe. Then let's roll on down to your back. Let's stretch your right leg out. We're going to bring your left ankle across your knee. One hand touches your foot, the other hand touches your knee. Now let's bend, straighten, bend, straighten, bend, straighten. The next time your knee is bent, we're going to bring the sole of your foot down to the floor. Let's bring your arms down by your side. And your palms are facing down. We're going to scoop up your hips. On an inhale, lift up your hips. Exhale, release your hips down. Inhale, scoop up your hips. Exhale, release your hips down. Inhale, scoop up your hips. Exhale, release your hips down. Let's uncross and do the other side, bringing your ankle across your knee. We're lifting up your left foot. One hand touches your knee, the other hand touches your foot. Let's straighten, bend, straighten, bend, straighten, and bend. Let's bring your left foot down to the mat. Bring your hands down by your side. We're scooping up your hips. On an inhale, lift up your hips. Exhale, release your hips down. Inhale, scoop up your hips. Exhale, release your hips down. Inhale, scoop up your hips. Exhale, release your hips down. Let's bring your knees into your chest. I want you to use your index fingers to grab onto your big toes. Elbows come to the inside of your knees. You're rocking back and forth for happy baby pose. Now let's bring your hands underneath your thighs. On the count of 3, let's roll it up. 1, 2, 3, rolling it up. Very good. Let's bring your legs into Sukhasana now with your ankles crossed. And let's begin rolling your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Let's do that one more time. Rolling your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Bring your hands either palms up or palms down. Let's close your eyes and go inside. Taking in a nice, deep, full breath. Letting the breath rise to the crown of your head. Pause. Then exhale. Release the breath. Let the breath go. At the bottom of the breath, before taking your next inhale, count to 4. Invite the breath in, letting your body fill with breath this morning. Letting it fill your rib cage. Letting the breath rise to the crown of your head. Pause. Then exhale. Release the breath. Let the breath go. At the bottom of the breath, before taking your next inhale, count to 4. Invite the breath in. Notice how the breath fills your shoulder blades and your collarbones, letting the breath rise to the crown of your head. Pause. Then exhale. Release the breath. Let the breath go. At the bottom of the breath, before taking your next inhale, count to 4. Invite the breath in, but this time I want you to return to your natural breath, your natural breathing pattern. Let's begin bringing your awareness back into the room. Wherever you are, bringing your awareness back into the room. Bringing small movements to your toes and your fingers. And just nod your head right and left, up and down. Roll your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Stretch your arms out. Inhale all the way up. Palms together. Let's exhale with a sigh. Stretch your arms out. Inhale all the way up. Palms together. Let's exhale with a sigh. May the light in me see the light in you. Thanks for watching The Morning Exhale. I'm Stephanie Gaines-Bryant. Have a great day. Namaste.